Hey, this is David Owen.
And this is Marion Cowgowan.
And this is You Show Me Yours Rewatches Degrassi Junior High. This time we have Season 1, Episode 10, Smokescreen.
It references smoke, so that makes it relevant, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that means what you think it means, but there's smoke.
But it is, it's deep. It's so deep, Marion.
Oh, explain it to me.
Well, when the time is right.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, we've, Rick is back.
Yeah, man. Licorice Rick.
Licorice Rick.
I'm Licorice Rick!
Speaking of which, we finally got some black licorice ropes.
Yes.
And they were a lot.
They're very
They're pungent.
They're artisan.
Yeah.
Like, so they're very strong.
They're curiously strong.
Yes.
Altoids isn't around anymore, so this is the curiously strong licorice.
Altoid of licorice.
Yeah, and I said, maybe that's why Rick's bag of licorice never really went down, because people took one bite and they were like, oh God, no thank you, no more. It's too much. But was the brand that we have Wiley Wallabies?
I don't know.
Black licorice ropes,
Sure.
nuggets. Find it at fine retailers everywhere, including the weirdly named grocery store in North Carolina, Harris Teeter.
Harris Teeter.
Why is it called that? I don't know, but
You don't want to know.
no, I don't. Anyway, yeah, Rick is here minus the licorice, and he's trying to join the Environmental Action Committee because he's sweet on Caitlin,
Yeah.
and that's what she's doing. So okay, he can't think of a better way to be around her.
Well, also, bathroom advice man tells him to.
Yeah. And he has what I think is, in a show that is not great with, teen repartee always and jokes. Rick is talking about the Environmental Action Committee, and Shane goes, more like inaction, which is both, I legitimately laughed, and that's also incredibly true about junior high clubs.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a second. So, and it gets a little complicated, actually. Little deeper, I think, than the show has gone on any sort of friendships or anything like that. But so before we get into that, we should do the B plot, which is surprise, surprise, Arthur and Yick again. Like, our notepad practically has B plot, Arthur and Yick worn into it, because I've written that so many times.
Yeah, you don't even have to. So stop me if you've heard this one. They're up to some shenanigans. Shenanigans. So the class is doing. They're doing a presentation where they have to tell about their family and present an object.
I'm not sure if the object was required, but so this is Ms. Avery's geography class. So it's probably like, my family is from here. This is the kind of assignment that you couldn't do now because too many people are like, I don't really know where my family's from, or I'm adopted, or blah, 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 blah. But in the 80s, we didn't care about that kind of stuff. So everybody could. But Yick doesn't want to talk about where his family's from because he thinks he has nothing special. Yeah.
It's boring, man. He doesn't have a cool, who is it?
Susie.
Is it Susie? Yeah. She has a NASA pin that was in space.
I have to say, I hope that the teacher said at the beginning, this is not about who has the fanciest family or the coolest artifacts or anything like that. Like, this is, because yes, if you're going right after someone whose uncle is an astronaut and you have an artifact, of course you're going to feel like you can't measure up.
So Yick ups his game. He's stressing about this, and he happens to be walking down the street, and he notices in the window of an antique / Asian curiosity
store. Yeah,
there right beside the Mogwai. There's a $5 vase there.
Keep in mind, it's $5 Canadian.
Yeah,
so that's pretty expensive.
Yeah, it was $1987.
Yes.
So he buys it and decides to fabricate a story about how valuable it is, and it's from the Ming dynasty or the something dynasty, and he doesn't know.
Except, Arthur says that. Arthur's looking at it and totally buys it, and it's like, what dynasty is it? But I'm pretty sure Yick is Cambodian.
Yeah, but I don't think if you go far enough back, isn't that all the same? Like, didn't China rule all of that at some point?
I don't know. I'm afraid to even joke about it.
I feel like the Ming dynasty did not respect like the borders of Cambodia and
True.
Vietnam and
Cambodia
Korea.
is pretty far south, though. I feel like I'm afraid to joke about this because I'm gonna this is the kind of clip that if I get nominated for something important in 30 years, they're gonna be like, "You make jokes about."
Yeah, Madam Secretary, some jokes you made about China have come out
on a podcast that 10 people listen to. Actually, your husband made the jokes, but we're going to blame you because that's how
I didn't make it jokes. I just said I don't think the Ming Dynasty respected
You said, isn't it all the same if you go back far enough?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, what I mean is, like, there was a point where all of Europe was Rome. Like that's what I mean. Like, wasn't there a point where not colonial, like dynastic China ruled that entire peninsula, entire land and all the peninsulas and all the
everything was
everything south of Mongolia or whatever.
Not where's Genghis Khan from? Mongolia. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, or like Genghis Khan or Kublai Khan or whatever. Like they ruled it all. Like
Kublai Khan is from a poem. I don't think Kublai Khan was real. And
Kublai Khan is in the game Genghis Khan 2, the Clan of the Grey Wolf. By Koei Games, and you play as Kublai Khan. Okay. I'm telling you.
I think Kublai Khan is from some epic poem from Longfellow or something like that.
I don't know anyway. One way or the other. I just know on the Sega Genesis.
Okay.
You could play as him.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, Arthur totally buys that this is a legit antiquity.
He's in.
It does not question the fact that Yik's parents. Well, he does sort of, but. It's like, why did your parents let you take this out of the house? And Yik's like, right. I didn't tell him. It's got it stuffed in his backpack. Like, I don't care if you told your parents or not. Anybody knows this is not a good idea, but it's Yik. So, okay, fine.
Yeah. And as you might expect, there's shenanigans. They, for some reason, Arthur gets trusted with changing the quote sign.
Not just that, he's cleaning the chalkboards. That was an honor.
That was So at my school, that was a punishment. Cleaning the chalkboards and then beating the erasers was a punishment.
At my school, it was, I don't know about an honor, but like they only chose the good kids because they knew the bad kids would just beat the erasers against the side of the building and make a mess. And the good kids could be trusted to just beat them against each other.
No, you had to clap the erasers against each other. Yeah, like
that's what I'm saying.
Saying like that just resulted in more detentions to clap more erasers if you didn't clap them correctly.
Okay, well.
Anyway. You know, like, hey, I spent many a day in Mr. Helpler's class or after his class walking around the blacktop and clapping erasers.
That's not a euphemism,
ladies,
folks.
Ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, he's changing the always anonymous quote. Mm-hmm. Like he's putting honesty is the best policy, and then the other one he's putting up, I didn't see it.
I think it was haste makes waste.
And it's also anonymous.
These are not groundbreaking quotes, y'all. Yes. Like it's
and Arthur's he's like, oh Yik, hang out. We're gonna play basketball after. He's like, oh yeah. And he's like, Yik, the responsible kid that we know him to be, is like, I'm gonna take these library books back.
He was totally able to find the library books in his messy locker.
Yes, let me toss my bag up onto this desk.
It contains a valuable antique, but I'm just going to sling it there with no regard for placement.
And of course, young Arthur cannot reach the sign to change it. And so he gets the bright idea after first realizing, which I thought was going to factor into this, that a creaky old chair on wheels is not a good thing to stand on.
Yes, I kind of thought it was going to be like a Rube Goldberg.
Yeah, he was going to stand on that, then it was going to slip, and he was going to fall, and it was going to hit the desk, and then that was going to knock.
You could see it coming a mile away.
Totally. But I think at some point there was someone in the room who was like, are we shenaniganing too hard here? Is this a little too much?
We're too close to the sun.
Yeah. And so instead he just actually pulls the desk, and the bag falls, and the priceless vase cracks into 100 pieces.
A bajillion pieces. I mean, like, it looks like there was a scene where he jumped on the backpack to get it into like granules. Like, this thing is toast. Yeah. And of course, his brilliant plan to cover this up is to pretend to take it to an appraiser, which he had, mentioned before. Like, I think my dad knows an antique appraiser. Which, of course, Yik wouldn't want him to do because then he would find out that it's not a real artifact. You know how he would find out? on the bottom of the vase, there's a sticker that probably says "Made in New Jersey."
Yeah, or it's also he's carrying it around in like the bag from the antique shop.
Yes,
that he bought it at.
Yes,
and yeah, then guess what? Stop me if you've heard this. More zaniness ensues as Arthur attempts and fails to glue it back together. Somehow gluing it in the worst positions possible. Like he's not even close. It becomes like a 4-dimensional object when he glues it.
You know, in A Christmas Story, when the lamp breaks and he tries to glue it, and then he asks for glue, and we're out. Yes. You use up all the glue on purpose. It is pretty much just like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't bury it in the backyard to the sound of taps, but he might as well. He has to bring it in and show it to Yick, and Yick is like, Oh, that's terrible. Oh, what a loss. Oh, no. I guess I have to do my speech without anything. And then with like 30 seconds of preparation, because he was prepared to go in and give this whole speech about the base. Yes. Yeah. He gives his actual family history, and we don't get all of it, but it's he and his family came. It doesn't say where he's from. I think I remember it being Cambodia, but here he doesn't mention it. They came over on a boat, and like you say, boat. I imagine like a rowboat, but it sounds like it'd be bigger.
No. Yeah, like a ship.
Yeah. Well, there are ships and there are ships.
There are boats and there are ships, and there are boats and there are boats, and there are ships and there are ships, and there are boat ships. What are we doing? Is this just a word game we're playing? There are dinghies and there are mingies, and there are dinghies and
Stop it! You're gonna make me laugh, and then I'm gonna cough, and
yeah.
Anyway, so they're on a boat, and there were pirates, and they had to hide, and
it's a harrowing story of migration.
Yes, and then we got to safety, and we had nothing but the clothes on our backs, and that's why I don't have anything cool to show.
Yeah,
and. Cue applause from his classmates. They're very impressed, blah, 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 and then Arthur's like, here's all the money I have. I'll pay you back for this. I'll give you my allowance every week until I get a job. And then I'll give you all my salary every year until it's paid off. And just like, oh, sweet Arthur. Oh, you're so adorable. And Yick's like, no, it's fine. I paid $5. It's fake. Yeah. And then Arthur for a second gets mad, like, why didn't you tell me? And Yick's like, why didn't you tell me that you broke it?
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, fair.
Yeah, it was. I understand why they wait until after this to resolve the A plot for the freeze frame, but this would have been a good freeze frame. The two of them sort of like knowingly looking at each other, like, oh yeah, we kind of lied to each other there, didn't we?
Let's not do that again. Yeah. No, I was kind of expecting that. Before we get to the A plot, can we talk about the announcements?
Why can't we talk about that during the? Oh, you mean? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes. The non-related, the C plot.
Yes.
The perpetual C plot. The announcements that are being made over the loudspeaker.
Now that we've noticed these, I feel like I need to go back to the beginning and listen to them all again. Well, there'll be a bonus Patreon episode where we talk about the little known C plots, the drama over the loudspeaker. And I wouldn't have noticed it except a couple weeks ago. Oh, when the snake escaped, there were things like we're not having corn on the cobra in the cafeteria. So there's one announcement that's today in the cafeteria. It's tuna surprise, and someone
the dietitian or whatever says it's great.
And then the day or two later, if anyone had tuna surprise, please see the nurse. And make up your own story in between and after, but I'm so delighted by these. I need to know them all now.
You got to listen. I'm sure there's at least one per episode.
Yes,
we got to start listening more carefully.
If this show had come on like 20 to 25 years later, there would be an entire website collecting all of the announcements. As it is, I don't think so. Maybe we should create it.
Oh yeah,
That's for Patreon subscribers only.
What is this for the Patreon that we don't have?
I'm kidding. It will never not be funny us joking about a Patreon. Anyway,
I guess.
So the A plot.
Yeah, man. There's shenanigans up on both sides.
Yes. Remember in the 80s when we cared about pollution?
Yeah.
And our response to the environment being a concern wasn't, well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're all fucked.
Yep.
Guess we're going to have to move north.
Yep.
Like, well, I guess they're in Canada, so they're the north. So they're like, we still have some hope. If this was set in Miami, they wouldn't know what was coming.
It'll get warm here, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. So Caitlin and Susie and Kathleen are on the Environmental Action Committee.
Yeah.
No, they never even try to shorten it. They never say like the EAC or anything like that. It's the full name.
The EAC.
Yeah. The yick. Yeah. Anyway, and Rick, because he thinks Caitlin is cute, signs their petition, and then Bathroom Advice Guy tells him to join the committee to be near Caitlin. Mm-hmm. And Rick, as we've noted before, has a reputation of being a criminal, and everyone knows that he had bruises, and there are rumors going around about him. What was it that Kathleen said? His own father can't stand him.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Well, yeah, and then that his bruises are from fighting.
Yeah.
Which was on the previous Rick episode where we dealt with his domestic situation.
Yes, but now he lives with his brother, who we learned is a bartender.
Yeah, Frank. Yeah, Frank is brother.
Yes, this is, my dad and I don't get along too good. That's an understatement, sir. So Rick goes to the meeting. This club has so many meetings. I swear this is like 3 meetings in a week.
Yeah, daily.
Entire legislatures don't have this many meetings in a week. And they get about as much done. Mm. And so Rick is, a salt of the earth guy.
No nonsense.
Caitlin and Kathleen and everybody else are, brains and very into, like, as with most clubs, they're very into the mechanics of things, but not actually doing much.
Yeah, they're big city liberals. Like, they're bleeding hearts.
Yes,
raised by somewhat affluent parents. To like, oh, you're going to take care of the world and you're going to help people.
Yeah, although I do at some point, Rick is at Caitlin's house and he looks around and he says, "Your parents must be rich," and she goes, "No, they're teachers."
Yeah.
But like, what teacher has a house that to anyone is going to look like they're rich? But maybe in Canada, it's different.
You saw where Rick lived.
Well, true.
An apartment
above a mechanic's shop.
Jeez. And he couldn't even open his window because of the pollution.
That's true. Yes. So the committee is the petition is to ask this factory to not pollute anymore.
Stop polluting, please.
Because it is as simple as that. Yeah. Like, this is when it gets to be sort of a pain to be an adult watching this, because I'm like, okay, but no, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. First of all, like, does this town not have any zoning? Like, you can't build a factory with houses across the street or a school within walking distance, or like, that's like, we recognize that it is some level of polluting, and that's why you don't put it by people's houses. But
listen, in the Degrassi verse, there's only so much space. Okay. we got 4 square blocks. That's all we got. We got a school, a hospital.
It's like The Sims.
A factory. We got the upper class area. We got the lower class area.
We got the Canadian Kmart.
Yeah.
And that's why the one lady worked at the hospital and the Kmart, because it's so close.
Yeah. We got the Degrassi corner store.
Right. Yeah. With a convenient smoking section outside. Yeah. So they're trying to ask this factory to pollute, and no one wants to sign their. Sorry. Yes.
No one's asking them to pollute. No, they're already polluting.
So give a hoot. Don't pollute. And no one is signing the petition. Rick has a brilliant idea to get people's attention with the announcements, not by mentioning Tuna Surprise, but by doing it in a rap.
Yeah. Let's see if I can cue this up here.
Oh man, did you find it?
Let's see if I can.
Listen up, people, don't fall asleep. Let me tell you about the Degrassi Clean Sweep. Stopping the stink is our intent. Help clean up the environment. Sign our petition and you will see improvements at the factory. It's up to us, that's what I think, to make some noise and stop the stink.
Yeah, smash cut to people signing the petition like crazy.
Did you find that on YouTube, or did you?
Oh yeah, it's just on YouTube. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh, hang on. There's an original version before the censors got a hold of it.
What?
No, this has got to be a
Is the
joke.
Environmental Action Committee?
I don't even want to put it on here. It might be expletive laden. Let's see. We might have to cut this part out. Let's see. Okay, yeah. It's a good joke. Yeah. That was a good one.
Okay,
Perfect.
Well,
exactly what I expected.
Well, and
I believe that was 2 Live Crew.
Yeah, if I think some of our audience probably is a little young and they weren't alive in the 80s, but I just want you to know that white kids, particularly white Canadian kids, rapped just like that. We were really good. We were really good at it, and it wasn't embarrassing for anybody. And the R&B community said, "Excellent, good. Please continue doing that. Please use this art form to be cool."
Yeah. Up until Eminem, white people we heard that one Sugar Hill Gang song, and white people were just like, "That's how rapists do it."
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm a rapist,
and we all have rhythm.
Yeah.
And we come up with rhymes just off the dome.
Yep.
As they say.
That's what they say.
That's what they say. The way that rap was used so badly and so inappropriately to try to get kids to be interested in all these things. Oh yeah. It was very sad.
I think it's the curse of every generation of people who are trying to make entertainment for the previous generation to fall into this trap. Like, I bet in the 50s or 60s there is like a rock and roll, kind of ad for something like that. In the 70s there is a hippy dippy, or disco kind of thing.
In the 20s, there was some old guy doing like, come with me and do the Charleston.
Right. Child labor. Don't want none of that child labor. Yeah. You're gonna make
It's not funny, but it's funny. You know what strikes me as we're talking about this? So now there's a whole like subgenre of clearly adults. I mean, like senior citizens will sort of make fun of themselves. And like there was a couple weeks ago, there was a lady who was the docent for some fancy museum in New York, and she's like, "What up, chat? We're going to talk about, we got the drip from the," I can't even fake it. And I don't know if Gen Z thinks that's funny, but I think it's hilarious. Mm-hmm. But it's a very self-aware, like the whole point is, I know I'm using this wrong and being cringe.
Oh yeah.
I'm not, like, I'm trying to get to you, but not in the same way that adults rapping in the 80s were trying to get to kids. It seems to be done better now.
Maybe.
I don't know. I've told you
it's kind of the same.
Okay, well, I think it's hilarious,
all right.
I'm the.
Well, I didn't say it wasn't hilarious.
I'm the cringe adult now. So I've told you about Channel 1, right?
I'm sure you have.
Okay, well, good. There we go. Well, for people who don't, So Channel 1 was a big thing in, I don't know, like late 80s, early 90s, and they made like a 15-minute newscast for, I had it in high school. It's probably like down to middle school too. And the company that sponsored it would give your school a TV and a VCR, I think, for each classroom if you agreed to play this newscast every day. Well, there were ads on it, and that's how it worked. Nice. But so that's where Anderson Cooper got his start, and Lisa Ling, and I forget who else, and and like they were legit like journalists, and there was some stuff about news, and like people complained about it. I didn't think it was terrible, but anyway, although it was controversial because you've got our kids as a captive audience and they're watching all these ads. Like, ma'am, there are ads everywhere.
It's true.
Anyway, so my freshman year, it was all very staid, boring people. And then my sophomore year, they decided, no, we're going to be cool. And they brought on some people of color. And I still remember Craig Jackson. And I swear to you, he said, "Yo, yo, yo, what up? This is Craig Jackson."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh dear, I liked Craig Jackson just fine, but the rapping did not need to happen with the news."
Yes.
Yeah.
The rapping news.
Anyway, rap was used for unholy purposes at the time. But
Yes.
it works, and people sign the petition.
Yeah, like crazy, right?
200 people.
Yeah.
And so then they deliver the petition to the factory, and they just walk in without an appointment, and they're like,
Yeah.
and some rando gets assigned to pretend to take them seriously.
Yep.
And
some slimy slime ball.
what's great is they don't want to talk to him. They want to talk to the president of the company.
Yeah.
And he says, she's a little busy right now.
Rick is kind of leading this whole thing. Like
Yes.
Susie and Caitlin are about to chicken out. He gets them to go in, and then they're in there and they're like, well, thank you. You'll give it to the president, right?
And he says, oh, totally. And Rick's like, no, we'll wait.
Yep.
And the guy is like, I know I'm supposed to hate him. He's the villain of the piece, but I admire his just absolute smooth way of, I'm not putting up with this with these kids.
Yeah.
He's like, actually no, and takes it from Rick and just walks away.
Yeah.
And like you said, you kind of expect to see a shot of him throwing it in the trash.
In the trash, yeah.
But Caitlin and Susie are like, no, he'll give it to the president. They'll take it seriously. Yeah. And Rick's like, no, I've seen the world. I'm from the mean streets. I know.
Right. Rick lives in the real world.
Yeah. Well, and he said he lived near the factory because, again, crappy zoning.
Yeah.
And his room was so hot in the summer, but he couldn't open the window because of the stink from the factory. I love how it's always just the factory.
Oh yeah.
Like we don't know what they make.
Well, we do.
Don't have a name.
We get like a display behind the
that's right.
schmarmy guy that's just like random
detergent.
cleaners and detergents and just like they make industrial chemicals.
Yeah. See the metal canisters of things that are just melting into the sidewalk. Yeah.
Spray bottles.
Yeah. So
so we also should have mentioned along the way
yes.
that it is revealed that Rick is a smoker.
Yes. And Kathleen has not been happy the entire time that he's on this committee. I mean,
because he talks back.
Yeah.
Kathleen is in charge of things, and Rick has no time for her shenanigans.
And he does not respect her as a leader.
Yeah.
And have we mentioned that Kathleen sucks?
Yeah.
And she needs to be respected. More than anything else. More than effectiveness, she needs to be respected.
Yeah, I feel like in the 70s and 80s, it was required to have like a blonde girl with straight hair who was just the worst.
Was it?
Wasn't there one on Little House on the Prairie?
No, she had curls.
Oh,
that was Nellie Olson. But
and then, and I'm sure I was thinking of another one before we started this, but then I can't place it.
You thinking of Jan Brady?
Well,
she was also kind of the worst.
Kind of. But yeah, there was one other that it was in my head, but I can't think of it right now.
Anyway, well, Kathleen is no Jan Brady and no Nellie Olson. She just sucks. But she doesn't like Rick, and so she doesn't want him on the committee, and blah blah blah. She loves the name that she came up with for the committee, and everybody else. At the beginning of every single meeting, they talk about a new name
on the agenda. First, the name,
something catchier, and she's like, "I think it's a great name, and not just because I thought of it." Blah 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 blah. Well, she's out at the Degrassi corner store and comes out and sees Rick smoking, and she just stands there, and like she doesn't have an evil grin develop on her face, but you kind of imagine that there is one. And then the next meeting, she opens it with, "I don't think Rick can't be on this committee because he smokes.
He's a smoker," and
everybody is horrified. Which, frankly, like if you're 12 or 13, like yes, that is sort of horrifying, but also. Like, we've convinced ourselves that individual actions don't really matter when it comes to environmental action. But in this case, it really doesn't.
Yeah. In a way, like the thing that we found out about smoke. So the thing that there's kind of indicating here is that the act of smoking is pollution.
Well, secondhand. Yes.
Right. The act of expelling the smoke and all that. But what we've actually realized in the years since is yes, smoking is bad for you and some of those in your immediate area, the smoke itself, but like the butts are actually the thing. Like they are, washing up by the millions.
Oh, that's right, because they're just foam and they don't biodegrade
in different countries and stuff. So like that's almost like you hurt yourself, but like there is an environmental component. They were not necessarily aware of that at this time.
No,
but as we've gone on and just the cigarette butts have accumulated.
All right.
That's why it's become such a thing, even in our like non-smoking culture, to still see these places to leave your cigarette. The little little things with a hole in the bottom and sand at the bottom and a hole in the top to put your cigarette in. Like, like, okay, yes, we don't want you to smoke for your health, but if you do smoke, please God, do not put cigarette butts everywhere.
Just I'm sorry. This is in the U.S. We're expecting people to be responsible for cleaning up their messes. That's what a dumb thing. Anyway, but Kathleen she just basically is looking for an excuse, and she's Rick, you got to go.
Get out of here.
And everyone else is so horrified about the fact that he smokes that no one tells Kathleen to take a long walk off a short pier. And so Rick leaves and says, "You all are jerks," and like not just slams one locker, slams like 5.
Yeah, it's all the way down the hall.
You can hear it, boom,
banging
boom,
lockers,
boom, boom,
and it's his trademark.
I thought for half a second he was gonna punch like Yick's locker or Arthur's, and the vase would get broken even more.
Right. Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Or like Yick would open his locker like he's inside of it for some reason.
Yeah. So
we have forgotten of I think a vital part of this plot, which is that through the modeling of her parents or through society or whatever, Caitlin has taken on the classic female behavior of trying to find a man she can fix.
Yeah.
And that is sort of Rick is attracted to Caitlin because she's smart and cute and, all these things. But she looks at him and sees like, oh, this poor kid that needs help in school. And he doesn't know he's not smart. And, I can fix this guy. He's got a lot of anger. But it's good with good reason.
He just needs he just needs the love of a good woman. Yeah.
Yes.
To the point that she's talking about the factory puts out toxins, and then she puts her hand on his arm. She's like, toxins are the bad
They're
things.
bad for you.
It reminded me of in The Office when I think it's who is it? It's Holly when she gets there, and someone tells her that Kevin is special needs, and so she's like, "Oh, good for you! That's so great." When he does anything, and he doesn't, it's like, "Thanks, I don't."
Yeah.
Toxins are the bad things. Yeah. So she's all upset. So she's embarrassed by this whole thing because at some point Kathleen is like, "Caitlin, you should have known better," blah, blah, blah. So she's mad at Rick, and she says, "I tried to help you. Everyone says you're dumb. I knew you weren't dumb. I tried to, and he, of course, is like, the fuck?
Right,
what?
Exactly.
I didn't ask you to help me. I'm not your project. I'm not your project. Yes, I was hoping you would catch that. And Susie had said that to her too.
Susie knows what's up.
Yes, like you can like him. You don't need to treat him like a science experiment.
Yes.
And so it's much more complicated than most of the discussions about relationships on this show because it's so like there's no way for this to go well, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's so far been the theme of this, Wheels and Stephanie, and like none of these, all of these relationships are doomed for one reason or another.
Yeah, but this is even more so. Like they both hurt each other.
Yeah,
and there's clear, like no one is clearly right or clearly wrong.
Yeah, and she realizes, her fault because at the end of that conversation, he basically says, "I joined the stupid club, because I liked you."
Yeah, and you think I'm dumb, but I had the idea to do the announcement.
I did all
and,
these,
blah blah.
Yeah.
So she has a good think about it, and she leaves, and then the next day she finds him and she says, "I'm sorry, I messed it up," blah, blah, blah. And you're right, they're not going to listen to us with the petition. And he says, but the newspaper would, because the newspaper is what alerted them to this.
The fact
pollution.
that they might be, the company might be fabricating tests that prove that their air quality is good.
And he says, newspapers love a good story. And if we go and tell them that a bunch of junior high kids got all these signatures and then the factory ignored them, that's a good story. And she says, "Rick, you're brilliant," and kisses him on the cheek. And he says, "Don't tell anyone. I have a reputation."
Yes.
Ah.
And that's
the freeze frame.
Is the freeze frame. Yeah. Also, that's the smoke screen. It's Rick not wanting people to know he's actually smart.
Well, and the other one is Yick doesn't want people to know about his family.
He's a poor immigrant.
Yes.
It's full of smoke screens. See?
So much deception everywhere.
The name makes sense.
Yes.
And also Arthur smoke screen with the stealing.
It's lies.
Yes, it's all
everywhere.
Smoke screens means lies.
Yes. Yeah. But the moral, I think, in addition to, don't lie and hide your true self. It is everyone has something special about them. You don't appreciate it about yourself, but it is. Although I think Rick knows that he has this skill.
Yeah,
it's just no one else does.
We don't always see people. Yeah, people are not always what they appear to be or what we might think that they are.
And I think you are more interesting than you realize, which some people don't have that problem. Some people think they're more interesting than they are, but for the most part, So, anything else to say about this episode? I remember watching this and thinking, who are these people that came over on a boat? I don't like, I didn't know anything about.
Did they go to Canada on a boat?
And like, how did they get to Toronto?
Right. Yeah. Like I'm trying to, I want to figure that part out. But like what we learn, the plot twist is that Yick's family is from Detroit.
Yeah.
And they just rode across Lake Michigan. Twist.
They did. They're from the Upper Peninsula. They took it the long way.
Right.
There were pirates in the lake. I have this idea that his family is Cambodian. I don't know where I am getting that from.
Well, between now and the next episode, why don't you research that and give us all a report?
Speaking of the next episode,
yes,
we've been teasing Spike's big dramatic arc, and it's here.
Yes.
The next episode is called It's Late. And let me bring this up. Okay. Spike and Shane McKay, Shane is bathroom advice guy
of the bathroom wisdom,
have unprotected sex in a bedroom at Lucy's house during a party. I guess Lucy is not grounded anymore.
Lose parents.
Yes. She begins to show up late for school and in a bad mood, lashing out at everyone, including Shane. After confiding to Heather and Erica, they help her buy a pregnancy test, which she hides from her mother until relenting. I don't understand what's going on in that sentence. She hides the test until relenting. A test at a clinic later reveals she was really pregnant. Okay, sure. She's pregnant.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Yick has a crush on Melanie, and Arthur tries to help him ask her out, which constantly fails. So I can just leave B-plot Arthur and Yick shenanigans on the board. Yes.
Leave it up.
So, yes. So Spike is pregnant, and this is the beginning of the Spike era.
Yes, this is possibly, at least for junior high, this is the defining arc that anybody who watched the show in school like I did, or even just randomly on PBS will tell you is like what Degrassi Junior High is about.
Yeah.
Oh, the one where that girl's pregnant?
The girl with the hair. Yeah, well, because Spike is memorable for her hair and the pregnancy. What's funny is like we've seen this so far, but later it is true also. She's just a sweetie.
Oh yeah, Spike is just
like, you hear the name Spike and you see her hair and you're like, oh my gosh, she's gonna have a bazillion piercings and tattoos and she's really tough and mean, and like, nope.
Oh no.
She just likes,
and she has that
certain music.
Yeah, she really has that like kind Canadian accent.
Yeah,
like a boot kind of. She's really got that, and it just makes her seem even more vulnerable.
Yeah. Again, as in this episode, people are not always what they seem.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Your name could be Spike, and you're very sweet, you'll still get pregnant even if you're sweet.
That's right.
So yeah, next time is when the fun really begins.
Yes.
But folks, we would love to know what you think of this episode. Did you have a club when you were in junior high? What was it? What was it about? Did you have meetings 3 times a week like this one? Let us know. You can get in touch with us in a couple different ways. You can send us an email at ysmypodcast. That's ysmy for you show me yours at gmail.com. Or you can find us on Facebook, same handle. You can send us a DM, or you can look on our main page. We have links to all of our latest episodes. In 2026, we have new episodes every Wednesday. The first Wednesday of the month, we do our YSMY thing and show each other movies and television that we loved before the first date. And the rest of the Wednesdays of the month, we are rewatching Degrassi Junior High. So next Wednesday, it is Spike time.
Yes.
All right. So we will see you then. In the meantime, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.